Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Blake? What? Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. And speaking of being in a cult, Shelly Miscavige, Jenna Miscavige's TikTok account continues to take the world by storm, and more media outlets are reaching out to her to interview her about why she started her TikTok account, what she hopes to accomplish, and to ask her more about her missing aunt, Shelly Miscavige, which Jenna posted a video to TikTok account explaining. Shelly's not missing. She's just in a cult. She has been seen a whole bunch recently out and about in the town where she lives and works. And I figured I would highlight for you one of the latest, most recent examples of this, which is the Today Show, specifically the Today Show Australia. Did a segment with Jenna a couple days ago, and let's just jump right into it. Let's watch it on this view. Here we go.
Your uncle is David Miscavige. He is arguably the leader of the Church of Scientology. He's that high up. His wife, Shelly, was last seen in public in 2007. Since then, there have been so many conspiracy theories. So many people, I've noticed even on your videos, that the first thing they usually say is, where's Shelly? What do you think has happened to the wife of David Miscavige?
So Shelly was with my Uncle Dave from the very beginning. She's been his right-hand woman the entire time, building every aspect of Scientology, including the child trafficking, human trafficking. She was subject to the same privileges as him, private jets, private chefs, being waited on hand and foot by teenagers. She was never an executive who spoke at Scientology events. So while she may have been seen publicly with certain celebrities, it was never her job to be a public person. I believe that they had a falling out, but she now works at a Scientology base that's supposed to be secret, but it's in Twin Peaks, California. And that's where she works. She has a different job, so she's not required to meet with celebrities and that sort of thing. And she's been seen eating out at restaurants, going to the movies, going to the chiropractor. So I think it's so sweet that so many people are looking for Shelly. It tells me that there's so much goodness in the world, that people care. But the truth is that that Shelly's not missing. She's just in a cult. And that there are so many other people there who have been treated and who are being treated so much worse than her, that there's no celebrity who's going to ever ask after them, and they're just not as culpable as she is.
You know, of course, I think we could probably expect the church to reject a lot of the things that you say. We know it is a risk for you to say a lot of the things that you say publicly. What are you hoping to achieve by speaking out?
I'm hoping to achieve some level of accountability for Scientology, both for the things that they have done to people like me growing up there, but also for what they're continuing to do to the children who grow up in Scientology and to their elderly. And my best way to affect change is to talk about it publicly. That will put pressure on the government or whoever else, even if for PR reasons, Scientology is forced to change their ways. It's really all I can do, and all I can do is tell my story.
Well, Jenna, we appreciate your time this morning, and the book, Beyond Belief, My Secret Life Inside Scientology and My Harrowing Escape by Jenna, is available to buy right now.
Very, very cool. And actually, they mentioned Jenna's book there, so let me share this with you. Her book is Beyond Belief, My Secret Life Inside Scientology and My Harrowing Escape. So many points that were touched on in that interview. Let me show you the video that Jenna did that sort of kickstarted a lot of this media interest. Just in addition to the explosion of Jenna's TikTok account in general, which is now up to well over 250,000 followers in just a couple weeks. But the media certainly has taken a particular interest in the video about Shelly. So here is, in Jenna's own words, outside of an interview, what it is that she had to say that started all of this.
Miscavige, and my uncle is the leader of Scientology. I escaped when I was 22. My name is Jenna Miscavige, and my uncle is the leader of Scientology. I escaped when I was 22. My aunt, Shelly Miscavige, hasn't been seen by anyone outside of Scientology since 2005. Leah Remini last saw her that year and then reported her missing in 2016. Since then, Where is Shelly has exploded, bringing international attention to Scientology's abuses. Most people see my Aunt Shelly as a trapped, powerless victim. I see her differently, as the Ghislaine Maxwell to my Uncle Dave's Jeffrey Epstein. She was his right-hand man, so to speak, and she was there for it all, protecting predators, covering up child abuse and deaths, separating children from parents, and helping to build the family-destroying human trafficking cult that it is today. It was my Aunt Shelly who forbade and prevented me from communicating with my parents as a child. It was she who kept me separated from them. And when I wanted to leave, it was Shelly who ordered someone to be posted outside of my door day and night to make sure that I couldn't escape. And she ordered hours of interrogations where I was physically restrained from leaving the room, all while she was living in luxury, flying in private planes, with private chefs, with designer clothing, vacationing in the Caribbean, while being waited on hand and foot by teenagers and hobnobbing with Tom Cruise and John Travolta. She's been reported missing, but hundreds of Scientology workers live at secret bases, isolated from the world. My Aunt Shelly works at a base near Lake Arrowhead. She's reportedly been seen visiting the chiropractor, going out to the movies, going out to eat Italian food. These are all privileges far beyond what I or other Scientology workers ever had. I really appreciate everyone who asks, where is Shelly? She might be isolated from the world, but so are so many others who weren't right there building a criminal organization and abusing children alongside my Uncle Dave. They won't have a celebrity asking after them because nobody even knows who they are. I believe stopping new people from joining is the best way to throttle Scientology's efforts. People like Asmithlevin, Streets LA, and Jessica Palmadessa are getting the word out about Scientology every day. Please follow and support them so we can keep shining a light on this and prevent more people from getting sucked into this dangerous cult. My name is Jenna Miscavige.
All righty, there you go. That is the video that has pretty much jump-started all the recent interest in the media in the Where is Shelly question. It really is fascinating to see the whole issue reframed as Shelly being more of a Ghislaine Maxwell type figure who has supported and enabled and herself perpetrated the widespread abuse and trafficking of children in Scientology, than herself just being this poor missing victim. You know, when Jenna points out that, you know, Shelly Miscavige for her entire adult executive career in Scientology has been being waited on hand and foot by young teenagers who, instead of being in school or being with their families, are working 110, 120 hours a week on isolated Sea Org bases, separated from their parents, working full time instead of, well, you know, being a child, living a normal life, being with their family. It does sort of paint a much different picture than, oh no, what did the leader of Scientology do to his wife? It's horrible. And, you know, it's interesting how sometimes this, when ex-Scientologists point out the true nature of Shelly Miscavige's previous life, previous role, current life, current role, sometimes it gets framed as a, why are you going against Leah Remini type issue? And I think something that gets missed is that it is the episode about Shelly Miscavige on Leah Remini's own TV show, where Leah Remini, Mike Rinder, and Tom DeVocht explained to the world that Shelly Miscavige wants to continue being in Scientology, is a dedicated follower of Scientology, is a very devoted follower of L. Ron Hubbard, believes that L. Ron Hubbard is reincarnating into a new body to come back to Earth and take back over control of Scientology. And there's no part of Shelly Miscavige that would ever want to leave the Sea Organization or leave Scientology just because her husband has become this crazy tyrant, because her loyalty is to L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. It is Leah Remini herself who put this information out there into the world, and yet somehow people are unaware of that. Somehow people are unaware of that. Now, one of the reasons this gets framed as a why do people who try to explain that Shelly wants to still be there, why are these people speaking out against Leah Remini? One of the reasons it gets framed this way is because when ex-Scientologists who actually knew Shelly, who were in the Sea Org, who knew her in the Sea Org, knew her out of the Sea Org. When these people try to explain, no, Shelly's a Sea Org member working at the secret Twin Peaks base, she's fine. In many cases, when Leah's been involved in these conversations, she said, you don't know that. You don't know that. And until we see, we don't know. And you go, okay. I mean, and this is where Jenna Miscavige made the point of like, there's a difference between someone being in a cult and they live an isolated life on these secret cult bases and someone actually being missing. So are we saying she's missing as like a PR stunt to catalyze interest and attention into Scientology? Or are we saying she's missing because we actually are supposed to pretend that we think she's not okay? Like, which one is it? Because, you know, it's interesting also to have heard Jenna explain for the first time recently. This should have been obvious to me, but it never quite occurred to me that none of Shelly Miscavige's own family members, not the ones who were in the Sea Org or in Scientology, not the ones who were out of the Sea Org or out of Scientology, none of her own family members even reported her as missing. None of the high-level Scientology executives who even worked with her for decades reported her as missing, even after they left Scientology. Not Mike Rinder, not Marty Rathbun, not Tom DeVocht, not 10 other people I could list. And yet she was reported missing by someone who was only an acquaintance and hadn't seen her for 9 years without ever even first consulting any of the so-called missing persons family members. That does put things in a little different perspective. Now, no matter how many videos Jenna does about this, no matter how many videos I do about this, no matter how many news segments get done about this, the question will still always be asked, where's Shelly? And I think that's great. Because just like me doing videos about Tom Cruise as often as I can, anything that attracts people's attention and interest and acts as an entry point into a conversation about how Scientology is a multi-billion-dollar international family-destroying human trafficking cult is totally fine by me. But even doing videos like this accomplishes that same purpose. Okay, let's see. Anything else here? That is all of my notes. We have Andrea Malloy. Well, thank you for being a channel member for 14 months, Andrea. Okay, much more to come today. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.